Honestly, I haven't related to Trump this much since finding out he got financial assistance from his dad well into his 30s. Trump is also, of course, shouting that the report is a lie, which, remember, is, by the way, entirely the testimony of Republicans working for him, which means even he's admitting you can't trust anyone in the Trump administration. This really is a perfect microcosm of Trump's entire ethos, a loose facsimile of relatable human behavior, rigidly scripted to avoid a genuine experience. He's also exactly like the fries, salty, unnaturally coated golden brown, and probably going to be the death of us all. Kelly, who's a 4-star general but looks like a 1-star Uber passenger. Journalists at CNN have uncovered disgusting comments made by North Carolina's lieutenant governor defending Hitler and slavery, which is shocking. CNN has journalists? This week, Trump cosplayed as a garbage man in a brilliant strategy to simultaneously be the SNL sketch before they have time to write it. Mike Johnson, who still just looks to me like the villain in the worst direct-to-video Air Bud sequel. You think a dog can win the X Games? Pete has famously said that he doesn't believe that women should be in combat, which is strange coming from a guy who thinks men should be in uteruses. Republicans are outraged to be called garbage for supporting the guy who has called Democrats stupid, sick, deranged, vicious, thugs, evil, bad scum, the enemy from within, and also garbage. Seriously, Republicans, you're offended? Welcome to the club. For you, the day a politician called you garbage was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. Adams also said, I always knew that if I stood my ground for New Yorkers, that I would be a target, and a target I became. Which is also what I'd love to hear from the vacant lot near my house. When fact-checked by the moderators that didn't happen, Trump said that he saw it on TV. Wow, the guy has the same level of critical analysis I had at 10 watching David Copperfield, though Trump would go on to actually make liberty disappear. I'm sorry, we're the enemy within? It's kind of hard to hear you over the sound of the jury still announcing your guilty verdicts. The enemy within is probably the name of the Trump font. I bet 3 of your former staff have that as their upcoming book title right now. The enemy within are the words a therapist would underline on a notepad after 2 minutes with you. Come on, Donald, let he who is without skyscrapers compensating for childhood trauma cast the first stone. After Election Day, I immediately took off my I voted sticker since statistically it suggests I make terrible decisions. J.D. Vance brought to the debate the Dark Souls strategy, you'll survive if you dodge everything, while Tim Walz came with, I'm guessing, potato salad for everyone? Also saying once he hasn't washed his hands in 10 years, which is disgusting, though historically, not minding having dirty hands is actually a pretty good qualification to run America's military. In a statement, Adams asked the public to wait to hear our side of the narrative. Not the best wording if you're actually innocent. Honey, before you say anything about this lipstick on my collar, just remember, I have a narrative. Again, the story's not true, though it should be noted as FEMA does now have to spend money addressing Trump's rumors on their website, that technically classifies him as a disaster. Trump allegedly said it doesn't matter if you won or lost, you still have to fight like hell. One of many phrases you should hear from a Little League coach, but not Donald Trump. Right alongside, there's 2 balls right now, and I'm gonna get you to third base. A series of angry tirades, including the now infamous line about dogs and cats being eaten, prompting RFK Jr. to nervously delete his Seamless history. But as a raunchy roast comedian, at least he was on brand, which was more than you could say for Hulk Hogan, who struggled to do the thing he does in every photo of him ever taken. This would be like hiring Mr. T and he shows up tangled in his necklaces. After an appeals court ruled Donald Trump is not immune to prosecution, and I'm gonna guess also tuberculosis, what the hell is going on there? Prompting Vance to say, I'm focused on the future. You're not focused on the future. Trump's slogan is literally, let's do the past again. Marty McFly was focused on the future. Your boss is literally Biff Tannen. Trump pretended to work at McDonald's, proving we were so preoccupied with whether or not AI should look like real life, we didn't stop to think if real life should look like AI. Remember when an adult film star hush money trial was more than enough to take down anyone in government? If you listen, you can hear centuries of unfaithful, disgraced politicians rolling over on their mistresses. This is, of course, the case where multiple people were paid off to keep quiet, because negative stories about Trump are like Beanie Babies. We used to think that they were all going to be worth something. And now we're like, I don't know how many there are, and I think holding on to them for this long is starting to do some psychological damage. Trump apparently spends $230,000 a day on lawyer fees. Wow, even out of office, he's still a job creator. The document alleges that in the election interference case, the former president resorted to crimes, though I've always thought it was more accurate to say he crimes at resorts. I will always appreciate Woodward because of the whole bringing down Nixon thing, and because Robert Redford and all the president's men can get it. Look at me. He can get it. Trump famously also said Mike Pence doesn't have the courage, though to be honest, Mike Pence doesn't have much of anything. Charisma, pigment, insect repellent. Mitch McConnell will be stepping down from leadership, though I've arbitrarily decided any kind words about him shouldn't be spoken in an election year. 5 books about Trump scandals? Well, to be fair, Deep Throat did tell you to follow the money. If he ends up losing Florida by 1 vote, then this man should never have to pay for a watered-down mango pina colada Rita and a bubble glass vase with full-size beach umbrella garnish served after we've already finished our entree ever again. I'm from Florida. Though Trump should be commended for being able to walk anything back with those bone spurs. He's nominated Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Well, you know what they say, get scary Botox for the job you want, not the job you have.